House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Half day, everybody. Jason Salas here, and we have about maybe 6 minutes and change to tell you about awesome stuff going on in real estate. Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. Talk about time. 3.5 hours last Friday.
Yes.
We Facebook Lived for you. You had us on for the Guam Association of Realtors at your membership meeting and the forum with the legislature. There was a lot of really amazing information discussed there. So thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
It was a great format, and I think it was one of the most successful events that we've had. We did have the legislative committee from the Guam Association of Realtors present different issues that we have in terms of real estate for our island. And then, of course, the senators were there. Not all of them, but we did have quite a number of the senators present.
6 of the 15.
Yes. And the good part is each of them had an opportunity to explain to the group what bills they've introduced and what they're doing to correct some of the issues that we're having in terms of real estate. So it's pretty neat because they're allowing us to give them input and feedback before they introduce some bills. I know in the past we've had some issues that sometimes senators would introduce a bill without getting certain impact and how it would affect our community, investors and homeowners. So it's good that we're actually engaging and having a good exchange with them. You spent the whole, how many hours were you there?
3.5.
3 hours.
It was very entertaining and very educational.
Your arm must have been hurting.
I was
running
holding the
around.
camera for quite a while, yeah. But it was a very good time. So Gina, speaking of public policy, there are a couple bills that have particularly bearing with you.
Well, we, as real estate professionals, we track the ones that impact our customers. And so one of them in particular that just got signed into law by our governor is Bill 3513. So I think right now you can go online and look it up. And it basically talks about the tax exemption. So if you own rental property, and this impacts not just rental property. I noticed it said it would impact retail businesses, rental property income,
That's
farmers.
the one about the GRT?
Yes,
The GRT,
it's the
right? Gross receipts
GRT.
tax, yeah.
Yes. So from our understanding, and look up the law, go online and look up the law, and also you need to consult with your tax professional. But we're just trying to get the information out there. Basically what it says is effective January 2020, the first 100,000 of your rental income and other income as well, it outlines other professions, will be, there'll be a tax exempt. It'll be tax exempt. Now you need to, it's effective next year, so you got to go now and talk to your tax people and find out how's this going to impact you, because there is a limit, right, Liz?
Yes.
There's an income limit of what you're allowed to make and still take advantage of the tax exemption.
Okay, $100,000, it's a nice round number. It sounds very, very big, but realistically for most property owners and the people that do act as landlords in the Guam community,
Yes.
is that a ballpark average, or is that low, is that high?
It's a good amount, I would say, right?
Most people that are landlords have more than one tenant, obviously.
Well, what about the person who only has one? This is actually, this is really beneficial to the, to regular investors. Now, we're not talking about the big guys. We're talking, especially because it says if your income is over 250,000. So imagine if I had one rental property, and then in my profession, my income is, let's say, over 250, this would not apply to me. So this is really designed to help, I guess, more people that are making below 250, and they just have 1 or 2 rental properties, or even just one, Jace. It's going to help them the most.
And the intention of this bill is to be an economic driver, to encourage more people to act as landlords, provide more property for people that can't afford. Because you were talking, Liz, a couple weeks ago, you were saying that how there really isn't a market on Guam for what they call the struggling college kids, because most people that go to UOG live at home.
Right.
Admittedly. This may actually have 19, 20-year-olds actually renting their own apartments.
Right, but that level of income, though, they don't have income. So most of those individuals will be renting. This bill targets such as yourself. So if you bought property, it kind of encourages you, hey, I can, I won't have to pay GRT up to a certain amount, and you get to keep most of your money. And what happens when you as an individual have more money? What happens at that point? You'll take that money and invest it in something else. Instead of paying the government, you know, you have excess income.
Or you can spend it on frivolous junk, which still helps the economy.
It still helps the economy. That's the thing I think we forget about any kind of tax benefit, tax cuts. And I know when the Trump tax law went into effect, I know there was a big controversy about, oh, these tax cuts are going to hurt the government. But I think the government needs to take a step back and look at the tax cut is benefiting the people. And if you serve the people, then you want to have the tax cuts. And at that point in time, when that went into effect, our government, in my opinion, kind of went crazy, and they started making tax laws that would make us pay more taxes so that it'll offset the benefit we were supposed to get from the Trump tax cuts. And I think what this regulation is designed to do is hopefully step that back a little bit so that people can take advantage of the savings. Because like you said, if people save money, they invest it either back into their business or back into the economy. And when is that a bad thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, or they can hire more employees. So that just serves the community.
Or God forbid, people just put it in the bank and earn interest, which again is good for the economy because it's helping the banking industry.
I mean, it helps that, but it's kind of like if we had excess income, what do you want to do with that money? You want to make more money and invest it back so that you have your passive cash flow.
Okay.
That's what we noticed from the business people.
It's good to see the two of you in such positive moods. Normally when we talk about like bills and public laws and everything like that, you guys get really, really fired up. So.
You know what? This is a good one.
It's a good one. And we want to thank the senators for passing, and we want to thank the governor and the lieutenant governor for supporting it, because what does it do? I think their platform and their objective is, how do we help the community? And we've seen that they're moving in that direction to make some changes to effect the greater good of our island.
Excellent.
This one makes sense to us. We love it.
Well, the best way you can actually effectuate change in our community, especially at the senatorial level, is write them, get in their face, let them know, communicate your message to them, and then send them cookies.
Let's cut cookies.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go get some cookies now.
Yes.
Can we?
Let's go. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm actually hungry. Okay, we're going to go get some cookies. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.